SKR, feel the speed, the thrill, yeah. High octane drama can't get off fill. Engines roaring loud, heartbeats on the rise. On NFR, see the sparks in our eyes. Racing through the night, chasing every turn. On NFR, adrenaline we burn. Pit stops and fast cars, it's a wild ride. NFR, in our veins we can't hide. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. Yeah. Every lap a story, every driver's dream. On NFR, racing's the supreme. Checkered flags waving, champions arise. NFR brings the glory to our eyes. NFR, where the legends are born. Speeding past the limits, engines reborn. In the fast lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. NFR with the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR's lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. You to NFR, feel the speed, the speed. speed, let it flow. Racing hearts, watch them glow. Turn it up, start the show. NFR, feel the heat. Fast and fierce, never beats. Engines roar, can't stay off seat. Catch the thrill, it's so sweet. NFR, NFR. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. NFR, lights are green. Zooming fast, sleek machine. Every twist, every scene. Catch the action on your screen. NFR, NFR, yeah. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. Sunday night, 6 p.m. Oh yeah, engines roar, lights go dim. Yeah. Drama's high, hearts are race. Ooh. Feel the heat, feel the pace. Oh yeah, speed and thrill, never slow. Zoom, zoom. Champions rise, they all know. They know. In the night, we come alive. Oh, SKR, we will drive. SKR at 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. Tires burn on the bends. Rivals clash, no amends. Oh no, cheering crowd, feel the sound. SKR, world renowned. Dayton's night, under lights. Oh yeah, every turn, every fight. Pulse is racing, here we go. SKR, steal the show. Rev it up, race it fast. Living dreams as we blast. On this night, we won't rest. SKR, we're the best. SKR at 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. SKR at 6. Fix. SKR at 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. Yeah, the best. Tires burn on the bends. Burn. the sound. Woo-hoo, SKR, world renowned. Renowned! They're the best!
Turn on the screen, it's NFR. Feel the rush like a shooting star. The engines roar, the tires scream. Fast as lightning, it's the dream. Speed and drama, every turn on NFR. The rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Feel the power at NFR. Burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Fernando calls the play on NFR. Every race day, commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR. Burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Not Fernando calls the play on NFR at race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR. Burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Deaf queen, the top supporter, see in the crowd where speed is keen. NFR, the place to be. Join the race, watch and see. Engines roar, the lights are bright. Sunday night, the crowd takes flight. Drama on the curves tonight. SKR feels so right. Speed and skill, hold on tight. Every turn, hearts ignite. Racers chase the checkered flag. No one's pulling any lag. Just race, just drive, SKR alive. Push the limits, feel the vibe. Racers give it all they got. Sunday night is burning hot. Oh! Oh! Wheels are spinning, adrenaline high. Twists and turns, we touch the sky. Competition fierce and true. Every point's a breakthrough. Wheels of spirit and under stars. Tension thick, no one's far. Destiny is in the driver's hands. Take the lead, take a stand. Just race, just drive, SKR alive. Push the limits, feel the vibe. Racers give it all they've got. Sunday night is burning hot. Oh! Crowds cheering under stars, tension thick, no one's far. Destiny is in the driver's hands. Take the lead, take a stand. Just race, just drive, SKR alive. Push the limits, feel the vibe. Racers give it all they've got. Sunday night is burning hot. Oh! Just burning hard and hot.
Feel the speed, the thrill, high octane drama can't get our fill. Engines roaring loud, heartbeats on the rise. On NFR, see the sparks in our eyes. Racing through the night, chasing every turn. On NFR, adrenaline we burn. Pit stops and fast cars, it's a wild ride. NFR, in our veins we can't hide. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. Yeah. Every lap a story, every driver's dream. On NFR, racing's the supreme. Checker flags waving, champions arise. NFR brings the glory to our eyes. NFR, where the legends are born. Speeding past the limits, engines reborn. In the fast lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. NFR with the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR's lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. You move to NFR, feel the speed. You move to NFR.
Engines roll, tracks on fire. Sunday night feels like a wire. Heart beats and chroma tire. Chasing ghosts, burning desire. SKR, the game begins. Metal beasts and metal sins. 6 p.m. the lights turn dim. Thriller speed, a deadly hymn. Race for time, no place for fear. Heroes born right here. Drama spills on asphalt tears. Fast and fierce, they ride like gears. They ride like gears. Chevy engines, twisted fate. Risk it all, I'll seal your fate. Seconds count, the stakes are great. Adrenaline can't hesitate. Night falls deep, the headlights glare. Specters fly without a care. Victory waits if you dare. SKR in midnight air. Race for time, no place for fear. Heroes born right here. Drama spills on asphalt tears. Fast and fierce, they ride like gears. They ride the gears. They ride the gears. They ride the gears. They ride the gears.
NFR, it's time to go. Feel the speed, let it flow. Racing hearts, watch them glow. Turn it up. Stars afar, round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. NFR, lights are green. Zooming fast, slick machine. Every twist, every scene. Catch the action on your screen. NFR, NFR, yeah. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. Sunday night, 6 p.m. Oh yeah, engines roar, lights go dim. Yeah. Drama's high, hearts are race. Ooh. Feel the heat, feel the pace. Oh yeah, speed and thrill, never slow. Zoom, zoom. Champions rise, they all know. In the night, we come alive. SKR, we will drive. SKR at 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. Tires burn on the bends. Rivals clash, no amends. Oh no, cheering crowd, feel the sound. SKR, world renowned. Dayton's night, under lights. Oh yeah, every turn, every fight. Pulses racing, here we go. SKR, steal the show. Rev it up, race it fast. Living dreams as we blast. On this night, we won't rest. SKR, we're the best. SKR at 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR.
Good evening, South Africa. This is SKR.
Wait, what happened over there? I'm not sure. Something happened. But there we go. Welcome everybody. Welcome to NFR. Welcome to Sunday nights. It's time for SKR. It's time for the finale of Season 8. Round 12. We're in Monza. Of course, we had a Grand Prix here just about an hour ago. Nobody could have predicted a Ferrari victory in Monza when they woke up this morning, but it happened. And Ferrari will be looking to replicate that result here this evening. Lots of cars already out on track. Remember, just the one qualifying session. 18 minutes, 18 drivers. So we have a field of 18. We might still have one or two squeeze in before the race. We've seen that happen in the past. But 18, that's a busy field. And remember, this track you're watching, this is without the modifications to turn 1. So we still have the very tight first chicane. If you find yourself in that midfield, gonna have your hands full at turn 1. You'd like to be at the front or towards the back. Being in the middle could be quite a handful. Virus starts his quick lap. Skull has also started a quick lap. It's right on board with the Aston Martin. This is Skull. This is the beginning of his lap. Let's bring up some telemetry, some data, so everyone at home can have a better idea of what the drivers are doing. Good evening to everybody in the comment section, everybody watching early on, early stages of qualifying. No one's done a lap just yet. Welcome to Death Queen. Welcome to Boinkies, Skull, Dixie Killer. I think Dixie was enjoying the soundtrack before the race. Hope you did. Got a little bit tired of the copyright claims and thought, what if I made some of my own? So this is Skull. He's gone through sector 1, he's gone through sector 2. This is the end of his lap. He's about to enter Parabolica. He's about to go over the line to set the first lap of the evening. It's a 120.5. It's immediately beaten by Virus. 120 flat he does. Then Harsh Cartoon into P2 with a 120.3. I was about to say, it's looking good for Ferrari. Big T goes up into P1. Driver who's on his return to racing. Spent a little bit of time away, made an appearance last week. Looking to make himself a more permanent seat. Going into season 9 possibly. Riding with Awakes, the team that's been struggling this year in F1. No points for the team in the F1 season. Awakes trying to elevate that team higher up the field. Of course, not so long ago they would have come to Monza as a home team when they were known as Alfa Romeo. Those days have come and gone. They are now known as Kick Sauber. And in 2026 they'll be known simply as Audi. This is Skull having another lap. One thing we don't have up on the screens are the tyres. You can see Skull, he's done multiple laps on that set of tyres, so doing something a little different, maybe trying to save an extra set for the end or for the race. Of course, we saw this afternoon that a one stop was possible. in the full distance race. It's going to be interesting to see how that translates to the 50% race that we're having here this evening. Will the guys be able to easily complete the race on a one-stop, or is it going to be a bit of a stretch? It's going to be a Charles Leclerc situation where you have to nurse those tyres to the end. Drivers be thinking of a two-stop. Of course, another thing to take into consideration, we didn't get any this afternoon. We might get some this evening. Safety cars. Might not be as simple as the quickest driver running away into the distance. Also, another thing at this circuit, penalties, track limits, as well as that pit entry for some reason. I've seen lots and lots of speeding in the pit lane at this particular circuit. Guys are not going to want to be doing that. Of course, 10 seconds is the penalty. Can effectively ruin your race. So at the end of that first run of timed laps, Big T is the quickest man. He's back in the pits. Then Virus in P2. Although those lap times between the front row, well, what do you say? Virus in P2, Spikes in P3. Ferraris were P1 and 2 not so long ago. Things have changed. Now in P2 and P7. Very, very close field. Virus 20-0, Spikes 20-0, Andre 20-0, Lebby 20.1, Afrodox 20.2. Extremely close times. And then we have another 3 drivers on 20.3. So absolutely nothing in it. 3/10 at the moment. 3/10 covering from P2 down to P10. It's just Big T that's got a bit of a lead on the timesheets. He'll be feeling comfortable for now, but there's a lot of quick drivers currently out on track and yet to get out on track. So he is going to have to come out and defend that lap time. It's by no means safe. A lot of quick drivers towards the rear of the field looking out of place. This is Ulrich in the Alpine. Now into the Lesmos. Lesmo 1. Then Lesmo 2. Named after the little Lesmo village not far away from those corners, actually. In fact, it's not a village, it is a town, but almost small enough to be considered a village. This is Ulrich in P12, looking for some sort of an improvement. Currently a 20.6. Not how you want to go through Parabolica. That seems like a big lockup. Such an important, such an underrated corner, Parabolica. Don't get that corner right. You can't maximize the speed on the straight. Really hurt yourself if you don't get Parabolica right. Such a crucial corner. Of course, Parabolica, simply translated to English, means dish. That's because, well, the corner is shaped like a dish. May not be original, but it sounds great in Italian. Parabolica. Death Queen asking where is Apmagozi. I have no idea where Apmagozi is. I haven't spoken to him in a while. Why, did you hear his voice at some point? I'm not sure what's going on. So Big T, still the fastest man. He went into the pits and has recently emerged from the pits. He's on an outlap. Virus, the man currently in P2, looking to close the gap on that front row, but he's come into the pits. So I think that may have been a second run on the same set of tyres. Was no improvement on the cards, so decided to come in, put on a fresh set. Still 7.5 minutes remaining in the session, so lots of time. Of course, one thing for the drivers to remember in this race, you lose a little bit more time in the pit stops. That's because the average speed around this circuit is so much faster. Of course, considered the fastest race on the calendar. Theoretical best time for a Monza full race is 1 hour and 15 minutes. That is a record for any Grand Prix. Of course, that changes with safety cars, stoppages in the race, but today we didn't have any. I think the Grand Prix went at just over 1 hour 20. No, unfortunately, Atmagosi is not in the comms box. He's nowhere near the comms box. I don't know where he is, but that was a little gift from Skull. So Big T back in the pits, Virus back in the pits, it's Ferrari back in the pits. Those are your top 3 drivers. Spikes in P4 for Red Bull, currently on an outlap, having a better day than the Red Bulls had this afternoon. Just couldn't get those Red Bulls to turn at the Monza circuit. Spikes doesn't seem to be having any of those issues. Currently in P4, 120.0, very respectable time. Unfortunately for him, the closeness of this field means it's only good enough for P4. Lots of drivers now in the pits, not a lot of action out on track. Track's about to get very, very busy, and hopefully qualifying will not emulate life as in past years, where we get drivers driving slowly in a queue on an outlap, and at the end of the day nobody gets that final run in because everybody's waiting for a slipstream, everybody's waiting for the driver to go ahead. Saw that a few years ago, everybody just piling up on the outlap looking for the best fastest lap, looking for the best slipstream, and it turned out that only half the field got laps in because everyone was going too slow. Somebody has squeezed into the session. I said at the beginning of qualifying we might get somebody squeezed in before the race. We've seen it before, we've seen it again. Venom comes into the lobby very late on. I think he's the only Williams. There you go, you see his car at the bottom of the field. Gone for a set of mediums. Surprisingly, this might be his only run because there's not a lot of time left in the session, but he's decided to gamble on the medium tyre. At the front, Big T, Virus, it's Ferrari, then Spikes, Andre in the pits. This is Wheeze on an outlap, then Levy, Aphrodite in the pits, Harsh Cartoon just emerging from the pits. This is Smurf over the line, improves from P10 to P9, not the improvement he wanted. He would have wanted something a little bigger. Problem for him is this field is so close. This is Ulrich. Look at these times, just look at these times, they're insane. We basically have 1 second between P1 and P15. So insane lap times by all of the drivers. And then they're at the front. Insane. Front row 119.7s. Then it's Ferrari in P3 119.8. Mr. Rem 120 flat. Then Spikes, Andre, they also have 120 flats. Then Wheeze and Levy, they share a 120.1, Aphrodoc's Smurf, they share 120.2s. So just insane in the top 10 how close these times are. And that means if you're out on your final run, any sort of improvement, it doesn't even have to be a big one. 1/10 of a second here, 1/10 of a second there, and it's going to be enough to throw you up this leaderboard. But any sort of mistake, we're going to see these cars back off very quickly. Because with how close these times are, any sort of significant mistake means you're out of the running. These are the two McLarens, it appears. Big T ahead of his teammate. His teammate is Boinkies. Boinkies on an outlap. Big T on an outlap. So the McLaren's running line astern. Boinkies will get the benefit of being behind his teammate, so he might get that little bit of a advantage. Doesn't want to get too close to his teammate. You want to keep a safe distance. Of course, get too close to your teammate, doesn't matter what you're going to make up in the slipstream, you're going to have to back out before you run into him. I don't think your teammate's going to be too impressed if you decide to race him on the most important lap of quali. Have a caution in sector 2 and 3. I think that's it for Ree. He's retired from the session. I think it was a voluntary retirement, but that came up too close to a yellow flag, so I wonder if there was an incident there for it's for Ree, but nevertheless he will take no further part in this qualifying session. Neither will Virus, neither will Ulrich. Their times are locked in. Nothing more they can do. Seems like Virus is out of the race. He takes to the grass. Wee's going very slowly. Currently the fastest man on track. Then Mr. Rem, followed by his teammate. Two Red Bulls closer than you've ever seen. Two Red Bulls, just 800ths of a second. This is Mr. Rem. He's looking for an improvement. He's on a 20.0. Spikes his teammate also on a 20.0, as is Levy, as is Andre, as is Ulrich. 5 drivers all in the 20.0s. Insanely close lap times. This is Andre. I believe this is also his final run. No time left on the timing screen. This is the final run. When you get to the checker flag, you're done. Any sort of an improvement. 5 cars, including Andre, share 1 minute 20.0s. If he's able to find a 10th, he'll jump all of those cars, put himself up into P5. He's currently just been demoted 1 spot. He's down now into P9. How you know if he'll improve is he's either going to peel off into the pits. Has he backed off? I think he might have backed off. This is Big T. He certainly hasn't backed off. The fuel flashing in red at the bottom of the screen, the battery depleting as we approach Parabolica. So important to get this corner right. If he peels off to the right, it means there's no improvement. If he backs off, it means there's no improvement. And there we go, confirmation, no improvement. And he's actually just fallen down to the second row because Aphrodoc's leaving it till the end. Sets a 119.6, takes him up to the front row, not enough to get past Weeze. 300ths of a second. Too slow for pole position. But we have some very, very fast drivers at the front. In a very, very busy field. We're 1 car short of a full field going into one of the tightest turn 1s in F1. Now wait for the timer to count down. Seems like everybody has finished off their session. That should be the order they start in. We'll just wait for the official results, and there's going to be a lot of them, so I have to get through them pretty quickly. Let's get those results on screen. There we go. Your front row is going to be Wheeze, alongside him Afrodox in P2. They're followed by Big T and Virus P3 and 4, then Spikes, It's for Ree, Mr. Rem, Andre, Pantry Star and Lebby. Those are the drivers making up the top 10. Then outside the top 10 with a lot of work to do, Ulrich P11, Venom P12, Smurf 13. Then we've got Harsh Cartoon, Boinky, Smurf, Divan, Top Gun and Awakes. Told you I had to get through that quickly. There we go, welcome back to the empty Monza pit lane. We now await the start of the race. Of course, drivers doing their final touch-ups to the car. If there was anything they didn't like in qualifying or anything they'd like to change for the race, this is their opportunity. Of course, not much you can change. Cars are locked under Parc Fermé, but there are a few small things you can adjust. Other drivers will have their strategy locked in. No need to touch anything. My chat just saying chat disconnected, reconnected successfully. So somebody just type something. I want to see if my comment section is working. Of course, before we get a race start, we will have a formation lap. You'll see the dual green lights showing up on the screen rather than the 5 red lights. There we go. Thank you, Dixie Killer. Comment section is working. Rather than the 5 red lights, we'll just get the 2 green lights. We'll be off on our way. There we go. There we go. There's the green lights. We'll go away on a formation lap. This will be the first time the drivers get to feel the full fuel tank. Of course, tanks are not technically full. These are 50% races. A very, very quick field. Wheeze, followed by Afrodox. Then Big T looked like he was going to top the session for such a long time. Virus, he did top the session for a while as well. Spikes P5, Ferree P6, then Mr. Rem, Andre P8. And you've got a feel for some of these drivers in the midfield. The times were so close. Any of them could have been 5 positions higher. So really close times, and if those times translate to race pace, we're going to have very long DRS trains throughout the pack. Of course, not the easiest place to make an overtake in Monza. Most overtakes do require a lot of bravery. Not all of them are slam dunk. I think the easiest opportunity would be down the main straight into turn 1 with the help of DRS. Everywhere else, it's going to take a bit of a lunge, a bit of bravery. Now the cars will line up on the grid. Important thing for the leader is that he's kept that field relatively close together. Of course, the important thing about that is he doesn't have to sit in his slot for too long, letting those tires cool down. All the work you've done on the formation lap going to waste, and now we just await those red lights. There's 5 of them. There's a pause. They go out. And we finally get underway for the final round of Season 8. It's round 12 in Monza. We're heading off into turn 1 with 19 cars in the field. And hopefully when we come out of turn 1, we still have 19 cars in the field. few lockups, but it looks like everybody got through there cleanly, so well done to everyone in the field. That's already an accomplishment. I see a few scatterings of different tyre choices, but mostly the medium tyre seeming to be the popular choice. A few drivers at the rear. Venom, Boinkies, Awakes, they've gone for the hard compound. Wheeze at the front, interestingly enough, he's the 4th car to go on the hard compound. The other 3 all at the rear, obviously trying something different. Wheeze has decided to go on the hard compound first, have the better tyre for later on in the race. We have a caution in sector 3 and a retirement. Virtual safety car has been called. Ulrich, the only driver in the field that started on a set of softs, so he was looking to have an aggressive start, making some overtakes, making up positions, and unfortunately for him, his race is over before it got started. Fortunately for us, it's just a virtual safety car. Safety car at the end of lap 1 would be useless to everybody. Nobody can really utilize it for a pit stop unless you had some sort of damage. Simply have to stay out there, hold on to track position and drive annoyingly slow for a couple of laps. So fortunately for everyone out there, just a virtual safety car means you're going to have to drive within a certain delta. Remember to keep it in the green. When that virtual safety car comes to an end, you'll get a quick notification and you'll be back underway. Of course, while the virtual safety car is there to sort of neutralize the race, you always do have the possibility. There we go, there's the pit stop strategies, predictions, 1 stop or a 2 stop. Of course, we saw both of those strategies in the Monza race earlier on this afternoon. The 2 McLarens, well, they went for the 2 stop strategy. Charles Leclerc, well, he pulled off what McLaren thought was impossible. Big T from Aphrodite, then Wheeze. That's the top 3. They're followed by the 2 Red Bulls, Spikes and Mr. Rem, then Pantry Star, Virus. Virus actually the top Ferrari at the moment, he's in P7. Top performing Italian team at the moment would be Wheeze in the RB. As I say that, he's going wheel to wheel with somebody because he briefly popped into 4th position and then got his position back. So Spikes getting the nose in front ever so briefly, fighting for that podium spot, wants to get up into the top 3. Last thing he wants is for the drivers ahead to get up the road. At the moment, everyone from P1 down to P15 is in a potential DRS train. Very close stuff, and we saw how closely these guys could match each other in qualifying. If they're able to match each other like that in race pace, it's going to be chaotic, because these drivers simply won't be able to get away from each other, and with everybody having that same advantage of DRS, it just makes passing that much more difficult. At the front of that queue, Big T. I wonder how he feels about having it's now a 16 car DRS train behind him. He's just set the fastest lap of the race. That's what he's got to do. He's got to put in the laps. He's got to break that DRS train, hope to build up some sort of a lead. But at the moment, he is at the front of the field. But does he want to be at the front of the field? Remember, when you're at the front of the field like that, you're the only car without DRS. Sometimes you'll think, okay, I'm just losing the 1 position, I'll get it back. You lose momentum in that pass, and it lands up costing you another 2 or 3 positions. Don't want to be doing that. Big T, 6/10. It's the most difficult thing about being the driver at the front of a DRS train, is you can be taking 2 or 3, even 4 tenths out of your opponent every single lap time. but every time you look in your mirror, he's still going to be in the same place. That's because he opens up DRS, he takes 3 to 4 tenths out of you on a straight, and all that hard work you did to go a little quicker just gets wiped out. So unless you're able to break the DRS train, as Big T has finally done, 1.1 seconds is the gap at the front. So Big T has broken the DRS train. Briefly, it's back down to 8 tenths of a second. I was just about to say, the longer you're in the front of a DRS train, the more tiring it can get. Like I said, you can be a little quicker than that guy behind you, but it doesn't appear so, because he's just going to keep on coming. Meanwhile, you're driving to the limit, driving to the edge, trying to find a tenth here and there, only for it to be cancelled out by the man behind you's advantage. Way to break that advantage is get the gap beyond a second. And that's what Big T has done. It's 1.5 seconds. We have a caution flashing on our screens, and I wonder if that is going to be anything more than just a caution. Hopefully not. No evidence of anything coming out of the pits, and the caution has disappeared. Big T, Spikes, Afrodox, Wheeze, Virus. That's your top 5. Then it is Free, second of the RBs. The RBs actually having a good night this evening. P4 and P6. Both cars up in the points. Lots of smoke, lots of trading places. And when you think you've got the pass done, some drivers fight back. Said it was a good day for RB, P4, P6. Well, now they're P4, P5. So things keep on getting better. And now can they hunt down this man? Afrodox in the Alpine, currently in P3. Remember, Wheeze has that advantage of being on the hard tyre. Usually, in a normal scenario, driver on the hard tyre would fall slightly back, at least at the start of the race. Then the mediums would fall off and the track would come to the hard runner. But on this occasion, Wheeze has been able to stay with the leaders regardless of that tyre compound, which means when those mediums do fall off, he's not going to be far behind. He's going to be able to make the overtakes. When grip does fall away on a high-speed circuit like this, you suddenly realize how much you depend on it, how much you depend on those tyres. F1 tyres are amazing, but when they go off a cliff, they're not of much use anymore. Big T from Spikes, from Wheeze. Afrodox has slipped down to P4. Now he's going to be challenged yet again by another RB. Where is that second RB? There is that second RB. It's Free. It's actually fallen adrift from Afrodox, 2.8 seconds adrift. So he must have made a little mistake. We have a caution in sectors 1 and 3 that has since gone away. Must have been the driver who just got on the grass for a little too long. It's McLaren from Red Bull. We've heard that before. 2.3 seconds is the gap between the two. Then Wheeze in an RB, chasing down the senior team just up the road. We have a caution, we have a second retirement, and we have a first safety car. Of course, now interesting scenario. I think most of the medium runners will peel off into the pits. What do the hard runners do? We don't have that many hard runners, but Wheeze was on a set of hards. The race was actually coming to him quite nicely. The safety car will have messed up his plans just a little. Of course, it's going to be far too early to come up for a set of mediums and do a one stop. So if you were on a set of hards and you pit, I think it's almost forced a two stop out of you. So a race that was looking really strong for the hard runner up front has all of a sudden switched. Does have the use of the medium. It's down in P10. Two drivers in that field yet to pit. Those are the two lead cars, Venom and Boinkies. 7 laps on their hards. Wheeze decided to come in and get rid of those hards. Venom and Boinkies decided to retain them and retain track position. This is the first safety car of the evening, hopefully the last. You just see the cars going under the old banked corner. The old Monza banked corner, of course. That was a oval circuit that F1 would combine with the current circuit, and it gave you a total layout of 10 kilometers. Those bankings are quite scary. Actually, would play a few tricks on your mind, that circuit. So of course you'd come around Parabolica, do pretty much this circuit that you're looking at, and then the next time you'd go around, well, I can't remember how it worked. I've actually driven the track on another game, but basically first time you'd go into the chicane, the second time you'd go into the oval, and the straight was split in half. Every second lap you had to keep left, every second lap you had to keep right, and when the tracks were combined, gave you a distance of 10 kilometers with two very dangerous banked corners. You can imagine the nightmare it would be to set up a car for a track like that. A racing circuit mixed with an oval, a full oval. Of course, we had the previous USA Grand Prix at Indianapolis. They would utilize the final banked corner on the oval. It's quite a memorable corner. Well, until F1 decided to start a race in the USA with 6 cars. And then the Indianapolis fans just never returned. Safety car now flashing on the top left of your screen. That usually means it's gone in. You can now see Venom just backing up the field. Remember, he did not pit, neither did the car behind him. That is Boinkies. Wonder if Boinkies is going to put up any sort of a fight to Big T, or simply let him through. And those McLarens have already traded places. Big T up into P2. He's already done a pit stop. The car ahead of him has not. It's going to be fresh rubber. I wouldn't say old rubber at the front. 9 laps on those hards. But Big T should still have the advantage. And there we go. Just braver on the brakes into the chicane. Big T takes the lead. Venom down to P2. Then we've got Boinkies, the second McLaren. McLaren looking strong at this stage, but remember that second McLaren still needs to do a pit stop. A lot of these guys will be on 2-stoppers now. Rather 1-stoppers. I think Wheeze is going to be forced onto a 2-stop. And 2 laps on those mediums. He would have to do a lot of laps on a set of mediums. Aphrodite was looking at a podium position early on in the race, went down to P4, still in P4, DRS enabled after that safety car. Of course, one lap after the safety car we get our DRS back, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. That goes to Wheeze. I think that will be a very annoyed driver. Of course, not so long ago the race was looking like it could perfectly fall to him. He was able to stay with all the medium runners regardless of his hard compound. Those mediums would fall off, the race would come to him. But then the safety car came out, jumbled everything up. He was forced to come in on a set of hard tyres that only had done about 7 laps. Came out on a set of mediums that aren't going to get him to the end of the race. And now he's picked up a penalty to boot. Big T, Venom. Big T has pulled away at the front. He's broken any former DRS, 1.7 seconds. But Venom coming under serious pressure for his P2. He's got Aphrodite just behind, Wheeze just behind. Boinkies has fallen adrift. Both of these cars getting really close up. They're going to open up DRS. And is it going to be one on each side? Is it going to be 3 wide down the straight? Surely not. Is anybody going to go? Well, it was. It was one on each side and perfectly done. No contact. As impressive as the pass was, I think even more impressive was the fact that all 3 of those cars got through that chicane without losing any carbon fiber. It's great racing, but at the same time respectful racing. It's what we want to see. Aphrodite gets his podium position back. P3 now wants to get up the road, go challenge Wheeze. There is Wheeze. Remember, he has that 3-second time penalty that's going to hang over his head till the end of the race and then get added on to his race time. So if he's holding on to a position, if he's in P2 and he wants to finish in P2, he needs to make sure the gap behind him is no smaller than 3 seconds. Penalties can really hurt you. They make what is already a tough race in a close field almost impossible. Big T close to the pit wall, taking the shortest line to the start finish line. Wheeze in P2, then Aphrodite. Aphrodite thought about it ever so briefly, thought better of it. There's not that much space into turn 1. We've got a lot of penalties on our screen. It's Faree gets a 3-second time penalty. I'm going to have to read through everyone that's on the penalty screen because it just seems like quite a few popped up at once. Big T from Wheeze, then Aphrodite, Venom, Pantry Star, Smurf. Just want to bring up those penalties. Wow. Okay. This is some of those are painful. Of course, Wheeze in P2 with a 3-second time penalty. That is one that could hurt him later on in the race. Levy, we know how quick he can be, but he's got a 10-second penalty next to his name. That was obviously for the pits. Then Divan, same situation, 10-second penalty next to his name. Then Top Gun, 3 seconds, fortunately just 3 seconds. Then Spikes, well, he's in the lead of the penalties column. He's somehow got 2 penalties, I believe, for speeding in the pit lane, because it's up to 20 seconds. Then we've got It's Faree on 3 seconds, Andre on 10 seconds himself, and Boinkies on 13, so he's picked up a track infringement and a pit infringement. So not only do we have a lot of penalties, they're hefty penalties. Of course, a lot of those penalties will disappear at the end of the race if some of these drivers decide to do a pit stop. That 10 seconds will be added on in the pits. course, you'll drive into your grid slot. No mechanics are allowed to touch the car for 10 seconds. If you choose not to pit, it'll be added on to your race time. We have a caution for a retirement. That was a retirement of Boinkies, so we've lost the McLaren. The other one's out front. No safety car. Seems like a yellow flag will do in Sector 3. Big T's not driving like there's a yellow flag in Sector 3. He's throwing everything at the race circuit. Now we've got a caution flashing on our screens yet again. What is going on? Big T in the lead of the race, then Wheeze. Still have a caution flashing in the top left of our screens. Aphrodite P3, then Venom P4, Pantry Style P5, then we've got the pair of Haas drivers 6 and 7, Levy and Smurf, but Levy with a hefty penalty. Then we got Divan P8, Top Gun P9 and Mr. M making up the top 10. Both Ferraris outside the top 10 in P11 and 12. Remember, they were 1-2 at a stage in qualifying. Things were looking good. Tifosi were getting excited. Tifosi won't be too impressed. At least the Tifosi do have an opportunity of hearing the Italian national anthem still tonight. That would rest on the shoulders of Wheeze, because its Ferrari has also fallen to the rear of the field. So only one Italian manufacturer car at the top, and that's the RB of Wheeze. Of course, the I almost called them AlphaTauri. The RB factory just outside of the Imola circuit. In fact, RB's factory is just outside the Imola circuit, and Ferrari's factory is actually closer to Imola than it is to Monza. Big T out front, then Wheeze, then Aphrodite. Wheeze 3 seconds adrift, but with that 3-second penalty, he's effectively 6 seconds adrift. Aphrodite's just behind him. You've got to keep in mind is the driver that's just behind you right there, well, he's ahead of you. 2.5 seconds up the road ahead of you. That's what the penalties do. Can sometimes just change your mindset a little bit, make you be a little bit negative. Of course, if you're racing for P2 in the latter stages of the race, you're absolutely on it. But when you're defending and you know you've got multiple penalties, it just plays on your mind. What could have been? What could have been for Big T? Well, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He started opening up the gap at the start of the race. Safety car came out, destroyed that gap. He's then gone into the pits, got another set of tyres, opened up that gap all over again. 3.8 seconds is the gap now, and growing. 3.9, almost at 4 now. Then Wheeze just behind Aphrodite, so P2 is not safe for now. And of course, as mentioned, if Wheeze does get into P2, he needs to open up a rather large gap in order to hold on to P2. As some of these drivers pit, these penalties will disappear. I'm still interested to see how the one driver got up to 20 seconds worth of penalties. Of course, Pastor Maldonado, he famously got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and when he came into the pit lane to serve that penalty, well, you guessed it, he got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane again. So in short, he got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane while serving a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Aphrodite on the back of Wheeze, and the RB can no more. The RB can no longer defend. Maybe it's just those mediums. Maybe he's just used up all the battery he had available. Whatever it is, the RB has relinquished that P2, gone down to P3. Maybe he's going to follow the Alpine around for a bit and have a go. Or maybe that is just his tires falling off. The evidence will be clear in a few laps from now. If you see that RB starting to fall adrift, that's the tires. If he's able to hold on, or maybe he's just playing the game. Pantry Star, he's in P4. He's not too close to the podium sitters, but he's not too far from the podium sitters if anything does go wrong up the road. Of course, those two cars racing very closely. He will be in podium contention, just 2.1 seconds away from the podium sitters. So if Afrodox and Wheeze continue to battle or trip over each other in any way, just really slow each other down in a corner while going side by side, something like that, that 2-second gap gets eliminated almost immediately. And we'll have a 3-car battle. Now Wheeze, he retakes P2. And Afrodox, he thought he had gotten rid of that RB on the previous lap. Well, now he's got to do it all over again. He's looking at the Visa sign on the back of that wing. And he's thinking to himself, deja vu. Didn't I just do this? Big T doing a great job at the front of the field. This is Skull. Death Queen, this is the prankster. So if you did hear Magozi's voice at the beginning of the stream, this is the culprit. Skull, down in P14. Up the road from him, it's Ferrari in a battle. Was in P13, could soon be in P12, and he is in P12. We joined the car just in time to see him go past. Top Gun demoted one position down to P13, and it's Ferrari is on the move. Then we have the two Ferraris. We said they were both out of the points in 11 and 12. Now one of them have been able to claw their way into the points. That's Virus in P10, so just the 1 point for the Scuderia as things stand. Lap 20 of 27. Big T from Afrodox. Gap is 5 seconds at the front. What can Afrodox do to reel that in? Does he have anything left? If he does have anything left, now would be the time to pull it out. Just 7 laps to go in this race. If you're thinking of leaving it late, don't leave it too late. You're gonna run out of tarmac. Remember, we started with 19 drivers. We're down to 14 drivers, which means we've lost 5 drivers in this race. Challenging Monza circuit. A lot of people make the mistake at this circuit of looking at the track map and thinking it's an easy circuit. May not be as complex as others, but I trust you, the corners that are there are very, very important. You get Parabolica wrong, you're never going to get the straight line speed you're supposed to right up here. Of course, we've seen many drivers get this first chicane wrong. This battle between Wheeze and Afrodox, it won't let up, and this time there's almost contact. Was there contact? I'm not sure. There might have been, but it doesn't look like there was any damage to either driver. That's how close the racing is, and now they're going side by side. It's pretty much a full throttle corner, and the bravest will come out in front for now. Afrodox in the Alpine, doing everything he can to keep Wheeze behind. And like I say, what a race this would be, but you just keep on thinking in the back of your mind, Wheeze isn't really there. He needs to get by, and he needs to open up a big gap if he's going to hold on to P2. Afrodox will be comfortable knowing that he's battling for P2, but his main challenger isn't going to be able to beat him. So he'd like to finish ahead on track for the bragging rights, but he knows that if he doesn't, he still has P2 in the bag. So slightly further back, Pantry Star, he's on the back of Afrodox and Wheeze. Remember I said this could become a 3-car battle. The more they struggle with each other, the more they trip over each other. That'll allow Pantry Star back into the race, and that's what it's done. Of course, if those two make any sort of error, Pantry Star's right back in this. Currently, Pantry Star is in a podium position as a result of that penalty for the RB up the road. Another problem for the RB besides the penalty is that RB is on mediums. Surely those mediums will fall off before the end of the race. There's still 5 laps to go, so if they're not feeling too comfortable now, they're going to feel terrible at the end. Of course, when when F1 tires fall off a cliff, it's as a result of there being less and less rubber on the actual tire, which means you just can't generate the heat into the tire that you expect. The grip all goes away, everything goes away. As many things on an F1 car, they're amazing, they work in an amazing way, but once they're outside their ideal window, they're pretty useless. So our skinny driver who's gone into a corner with his brake temperature way too low, or even way too high. Everything needs to be in perfect synchrony with each other. Outside of its operating window, it's not that impressive. Big T, he has done everything that he needed to do in this race. I said at the beginning it was so important he needed to break DRS. That's what he did. And ever since he broke DRS, he's never looked at risk. He's never looked like he's made a mistake, lost a chunk of time. He's just gradually gotten away. Pantry Star just off the podium on the timing sheets, but we know the result. He will be on the timing in the podium. He wants to be on the podium legitimately. He wants to get to the start finish line before the RB. Doesn't want the promotion via penalty, and he's done it on track, at least for now. So the order's changed again. Big T from Afrodox, from Pantry Star, and now that RB on a set of mediums. Maybe now's the time that he's going to start slipping back. Let's have a look at that RB. We'll ride on board with him, see if we can spot any evidence of tyre issues. Of course, you'll see it in the corners. Drivers ahead will be able to just throw the car into corners so much more aggressively. They'll know they have the grip underneath them to do so. When your tyres are going off, you just have that second thought before throwing a car into a corner, and you can see they just missed the apex on the right-hander in a SKR. That sometimes it comes down to the tyres. You just don't have the confidence to throw it in. Don't know how much grip is exactly left, and you don't want to push your luck too much. But it almost looked like Pantry Star was going to dive into the pits, but he has not. He stays in P3. That almost looked like a dummy. That almost looked like a dummy. I was certain that Mercedes was going to peel off into the pits and then just pulled out at the last moment. Of course, when one driver pits, sometimes a whole bunch of drivers decide to follow. And if that was a dummy, that was impressive. Or maybe I'm just making things up. I do ask, if you guys do want interviews at the end of the race, you're just going to have to be a little patient with me. Been having a little bit of trouble with Discord, so it's going to take a while to get it going, but if you guys are willing to wait about 5 minutes, we should be able to get the Discord side of things up and running. Big T out front, but Skull has just set the fastest lap of the race. Now that's as a result of him being on a new set of softs. Venom is also on a new set of softs, so watch for Venom maybe taking that lap time away. Of course, not going to make too much difference, that fastest lap. When you're inside the top 10 and you pick up the fastest lap, you get that extra point. But if you have the fastest lap and you don't finish within the top 10, the point does not apply. If you're wondering why would a driver do that, well, it's to steal one potential point from someone who's in the top 10. If I can't get any points, might as well steal one from somebody. Big T, closing stages, lap 26 of 27. Aphrodite, he's done exactly what he needed to do. He had a very rough time, remember. In order to hold on to that P2, he had to get his elbows out. He had to fight the likes of RB and Wheeze, and it wasn't easy. So many times those cars could have come together. It could have been drama, it could have been tears. But both of them kept wheel to wheel, but they kept respectable. I think we only saw contact once, and it was very brief, very light contact. Both cars got away with it. It hasn't been an easy P2 for Aphrodite, and it's not over yet. Pantry Star just down the road, 1.3 seconds. Gap may seem big for now, but any sort of mistake, and that Mercedes will be right on his gearbox. So even on the last lap, you can't let your concentration go. Gotta keep it right till the end of Parabolica. Things could still go wrong in Parabolica. Two Ferraris. Would have been hoping for something a little better, but they're going to finish in P6 and 10. I think Virus might pick up a position on Levy because of his penalties. So we'd have a Ferrari in P5. The RBs have also fallen down since, so the top performing Italian car would be a Ferrari in P5. I think that's if the checkered flag falls this very moment, and it's about to fall this very moment. Coming out of Parabolica for the 27th and final time, McLaren, as they would have liked to have done this afternoon and did not succeed. Well, they've been able to do it in the virtual world tonight. Big T over the line, healthy lead, 9.3 seconds, Aphrodite P2, Pantry Star P3. We can read out those top 3 results because there was no penalties in the top 3. So everyone in the top 3 finishing there legitimately, and they'll all be happy with that. Of course, no late safety car at the end. We've seen that on so many occasions on this channel, getting a safety car at the end of the race. This time it didn't happen. We had a pretty straightforward race with just the one stoppage. Now we just ride with Skull. As he's looking to finish things off. He's a little bit down the road. Race didn't go as planned. He's exiting Ascari for the final time. Entering into Parabolica for the final time. And he'll probably be happy to see the back of this race circuit. Things just not going according to plan. He's decided, I almost thought he decided to finish Season 8 in reverse. Maybe that is what he's doing, who knows. Just don't get disqualified. Not quite sure what Skull is doing, but if you can hear the stream, you're live. And everyone's watching. I think that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to finish the season with a donut over the line, and he's landed up. Well, it's an Austin Powers 1 reference, so I don't know how many people would get it. But the golf cart scene from Austin Powers, just desperately trying to get out of that tight spot. There are your final results. Big T takes a victory, a large victory, 9.3 seconds. Aphrodux, great job, finished in P2, had to wrestle with Wheeze for a long time, won the battle in the end. Then Pantry Star, P3, did a good job, was in P4 for a long time, held his nerve, kept his patience while the two ahead battled. Then Smurf P4, Virus P5, were followed by Faree, Harsh Cartoon, Levy, Divan, and Wheeze, just picking up a solitary point. Then no points on the night. Top Gun P11, Spikes P12, Venom 13, and Skull making up the field. We also had the 5 DNFs. So not so honorable mention. Mr. Rem, DNF. Andre, DNF. Oinkies, DNF. Awakes, DNF. And Ulrich, well, he was the first to, well, DNF. Now, of course, if you're still with us, we're going to try and get some of these guys on Discord. But as mentioned, just having one or two issues with Discord, so I'm just going to ask that show a little bit of patience. I'm going to try get in here in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
We take the lead on NFR's lane. Every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. You move to NFR, feel the speed, the speed.
it all or seal your fate. Seconds count, the stakes are great. Adrenaline can't hesitate. Night falls deep, the headlights glare. Specters fly without a care. Victory waits if you dare. SKR in midnight air. Race for time, no place for fear. Heroes born right here, right here, right here. Drama spills on asphalt tears. Fast and fierce, they ride the gears.
Oh, there we go. I double muted myself somehow. Okay, so we are back. We've got some drivers in the cool down room. There's a whole bunch of them. There's like 6 of them. So we're going to start bringing the drivers into the room one by one.
Oh, why am I in here?
I have no idea why you're in here, but
I was just about to say I should be in there.
Where's Afro now?
yeah, I think I brought him in, but I think he left. He ran away. There we go.
Oh no, someone else moved me.
Oh, somebody
Okay,
else.
no.
Someone here doesn't like me. I got a feeling it's virus.
What?
So okay, we still got some viewers. So thanks guys
was
for
fun.
staying. To you guys in the comms box, I'm just gonna let you tell me about the race, tell me about the season, what and of course at the end you guys need to tell me season 9, when's it coming. Start with
Yeah, so we are planning to well, first of all, thanks for everything from SKR side, not Fernando, for streaming each and every race. We do appreciate it. I know there's a lot of people that go rewatch the race and watch it again and watch it again. I am one of them. So yeah, thanks for the season for commentating on all our races, not Fernando. We do appreciate it. I think our season for SKR was fairly good in all senses. We had very few incidents. The stewards room was always quiet. We would ask on a Monday morning to all the stewards, just ask how's it going? Is everyone still here? Everyone's still fine because of the amount of issues we had. I think overall SKR had a good lobbies, almost full lobby again tonight, which is good. For season 9, we are planning for season 9 to kick off in 2 weeks' time, which is of course at the wonderful Baku, which is going to be a very stressful race because we all know how slippery that track can be. So if there's any viewers that's still watching and still hasn't signed up yet or want to sign up, please just follow the announcement section in the Discord channel. Sign up for the for the next season. We know it's going to be fun as always. It's going to be a 13 race season this time. We're going to up until Abu Dhabi, which is going to be the season finale. So it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be very enjoyable, like season 8 was.
I think Abu Dhabi should always be the season finale. It just feels right.
Yeah,
If
no,
it's in the
that's
middle,
true.
if
That's
it's in the
true.
middle of the calendar, it doesn't fit there.
We actually had a discussion when we brought out the season 8 calendar, and Andre was actually one saying to me, he says to me, Boris, it's not right. Abu Dhabi should be at the end. I said, yeah, but we're following, unfortunately, the real life calendar. We do have a 12 race calendar, so our season finale is unfortunately going to be Monza. So yeah, no, but the season 9, 13 races, we are following the in real life calendar. So season finale, I think it's the 8th of December, is going to be Abu Dhabi. So it's going to be a great ending to the season again.
You guys got your fill of Monza for the afternoon.
Yeah, no, I'm being a McLaren fan, not very happy, but let's rather not talk about it.
I actually wanted to
I've
ask
got a Ferrari.
while I had all of you in here, like, when the McLaren strategy happened, did anyone here think it was going to work? Because when I saw it, I was like, Okay, I was a bit confused because Leclerc was initially complaining,
Yeah.
but it turned out well for him. But I never thought the McLarens were going to close that
You
sort of
don't
a
think
gap.
you don't think he was pulling a Hamilton and complaining about the tires when they were actually still fine?
Yeah, probably.
Could have been,
Yeah.
but it looked like Sainz's tires definitely went off, and they were on the same.
Talent issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they at the end of the with when they do the telemetry and everything, they showed how Leclerc actually looked after his tires, especially out of the last corner. He didn't put too much stress on the left front, and that's what kept him in the race. But I think McLaren also thought that Leclerc is going to pit because he pitted early with them, and um, they were basically assured to catch Sainz, and then Leclerc didn't pit. So they thought that Leclerc is going to two-stop as well, which never happened.
Now,
And I also do think with Lando struggling on that second stint, I mean, he lost, I think, on one lap, I think he lost about 3 seconds to Leclerc. And with him starting to make those mistakes, it was, I think, fine for him to pit because Leclerc would have caught him anyway. But I think Piastri, on the other hand, I think Piastri should have stayed out. That would have been then a McLaren win at least. But yeah, you never know how strategies goes. I mean, Piastri had a 5 second lead when he went to go pit. I mean, it's with I think
But
13 laps left, something like that.
and everybody
So
everybody also thinks only the pit stop, but that move on lap one, that like
yeah,
I'm a Red Bull fan, and I'm happier than anyone to see McLaren doing well. But if they want to win this drivers' championship, they've got to sort out. I know people don't
but
like team orders, but this is where team orders apply.
yeah,
And
they should have let Norris through.
and
I also said,
Piastri
yeah,
should not have challenged Norris on lap one. And if anything, he should have maybe backed the field a little bit. You know, given
yeah,
given Norris a bit of a buffer, and it could have been a very very different race. But they
yeah,
were racing on
To be
lap one, and it cost Lando 2 positions instead of one.
to
yeah.
be
So
No,
fair,
that's
it is nice to see the Ferrari win though.
no, look, it
yeah at
is. I
Monza,
mean, to
at
see. I
Monza,
mean, I
yeah,
got to see Leclerc finally win at home in Monaco, and then in the same year, I mean, I didn't expect an Italian Ferrari victory this morning when I woke up.
yeah.
No,
The,
no, I thought we were going to
Neither
see it
did I.
probably
the only thing I
22
was
seconds
thinking
to
is Lando going to lead out of turn one, and he did, but it didn't last very long. So
Yeah,
he
Okay,
needs
but look,
to,
it's game on now, eh?
it is
Because
in the constructors. There's absolutely nothing. I think
So what
it's
was the
okay,
game? 5 points?
I,
4 points?
I think it's
but
eight.
Piastri,
I think it's
they've
8
got
Piastri
eight
points.
is
points
only
in constructors.
Piastri is only
Oh,
44 points behind Norris. So you can't say he's got a number one. They've got a number one driver.
I know it's difficult. Do you
Because
let your drivers challenge each other for P2, or do you let one of them go for the championship?
Yeah, in I think in the context with this championship, I think they should have swapped Norris and Piastri on that last lap. They should have. I think in the context of the championship, because of Verstappen's lead currently, I think he's 70 points ahead. I think he lost 8 points today.
Yeah,
So he's now 62 points ahead, and with 8 races left, if you do the math, I mean 7 times 8, what is that? I don't know, 7, 49, 54, whatever it is. So Verstappen still needs to fall off the podium a couple of times for Norris to actually do something.
but
So
I think if he's consistently within the top five, always scoring points, he's still going to take it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and that's if Lando's winning like every race,
yeah.
And if he's going to win every race, McLaren need to sort out that aspect of their. Are you fighting for who's going to take P2, or do you actually want one of them to challenge for the win? And Piastri is not mathematically going to challenge for the win.
No,
So
it's definitely
either get behind Norris or just go for the constructors and see how the drivers turns out. I don't know what's their
yeah.
plan,
Yeah.
but
I do think we're going to take the constructors, though. I don't think Perez is on a good space at the moment. I think he's a bit faily, and I mean
yeah,
we've got Baku next. If Red Bull struggled in Zandvoort, which is a tricky course, high downforce course, and or track, and they struggled in Monza, which is a high speed circuit, meaning their top speed and their downforce, or this let's call it the slow setup, is not quick enough. They are going to struggle at Baku with that long straight. I think they're going to get hammered on that long straight.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy how much F1 has changed in the space of weeks,
months, 3
really.
months.
4 months, 5 months, yeah, something like 4 months,
I
something
mean,
like that.
when this season started, that first 2 or 3 races, I was like 2023 all over
Do you
again.
think Red Bull's paying the price because of Newey leaving, or because of their restrictions that they got with the air tunnel?
I don't think it's the air tunnel. Look, the thing is, the way F1 is currently set up, if you win the constructors, you get the least amount of time to develop your car. So maybe that's the case. Maybe McLaren got more time to develop because they didn't even finish second in the championship. You know, they finished, where did they
Fourth.
finish last year? Fourth. So you get a lot more time in the wind tunnel. Maybe that's contributing. But I think the main thing has been McLaren's bought upgrades that have made a huge difference, and Red Bull
Red Bull
haven't
has gone
brought a notable upgrade yet.
the
When was
upgrades
the
they
last
brought
time they
actually pushed him.
upgraded?
I think it was
Well,
Silverstone, maybe. They brought an upgrade and it didn't work. They took it off the
yeah, it
car.
was at Zandvoort.
Yeah, it was something. They
Zand,
brought something and they took it off. I think the
yeah, so they
first,
took
yeah, sorry.
I think it was at Zandvoort they actually brought an upgrade, but it wasn't a significant upgrade. But that didn't help them in any way. So
So I don't know what
yeah, they are
happened.
struggling at the moment. They are struggling.
It was just
Maybe it's
like
because
such a quick turnaround, you know.
yeah, maybe it's because Perez wrote off his car in Monaco that they're still trying to catch up with the financials, with the cost cap and stuff like that.
Oh, I'd love to know where they are in their cost cap.
You know, in
They're probably over
the
again, buying food or something. I don't know.
it's obviously like a list, you know, of which drivers have crashed cars and how much they've cost their team, you know.
Yeah,
And the driver who just got fired, Logan Sargent, he cost Williams £3 million, I think.
sure.
And Perez is actually at the top of the list. He's cost Red Bull £3.6 million.
Given his run with a car that should be top 6,
Exactly, especially at the beginning of
how
the season.
how he still has a seat at Red Bull, no one will ever know.
Yeah,
I don't know where Red Bull's like attitude change came from, because in the past that wouldn't have flown.
and
Like
Gasly,
he would have
Yeah,
been
Albon.
they would have
There's
even.
your
posted
there's
the
your
car now.
examples.
I mean, you know how many drivers like have come through the Red Bull Academy and they've never seen the light of day of F1. The ones that have got to F1, they get a few races and Red Bull's like cheers. But
Yeah,
and then they've just maybe it's this. I don't. Everyone says it's the Mexican sponsor money, but I don't understand why Red Bull would need money. You know what I mean? If they like
yeah,
sacrificing a seat because of Mexican money, like Red Bull's got a lot of money.
yeah.
So I don't know why they'd be doing that. They're not Williams. It's not like they need a pay driver. Um, but yeah, they needed to, not now. I think now it's way too late. They needed a few races ago to get a driver in the second car that could score points. I think it's too far for that. But guys, thank you all. I'm going to just end the stream. If anyone wants to stay in the comms box for 5 minutes, you can. I'm just going to end the stream on this side. So if you're still watching, if you joined us for a majority of Season 8, thank you very much. We'll be back with Season 9 on a Sunday night in 2 weeks' time at Baku. And hopefully I'll see you all there. So cheers. Till then, goodbye. Okay, that's
Virus, what happened?